time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, COL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Rockies, two ball clubs struggling ever since the All-Star break. The Dodgers 11-20, and the Rockies 12-17. However, for the battle tonight, as the Dodgers try to go back up the ladder, they find themselves 2 games behind Colorado, and they lead with their ace left-hander, and that, of course, would be Clayton Kershaw. For the Rockies, they come in with Ulysses Chacin. So it'll be the left-hander Kershaw, the right-hander Chacin, game 1 of the 3-game series. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, while playing, still, and admittedly, you have to hold a mirror to the mouth to see the breath, but they're still mathematically alive, and life goes on. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this. Music up here. by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of the day. Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of the day. And by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium, a wonderful summer's evening, and the prospect of a very good series between the Rockies and the Dodgers. The Rockies come in 9 games behind San Diego, the Dodgers 11 back, and if the Dodgers are going to make any kind of a move, according to Joe Torre, now is the time. One thing for the Dodgers, they do very well at home. They're 36-24, and they do exceptionally well within the Western Division. They are 27-15. The only team with a better record within its division would be the Minnesota Twins, who are 31-17. The Rockies, well, here's their lineup. Eric Young, a chip off the old block, will lead it off at second base. Dexter Fowler in center field. Carlos Gonzalez, a one-man gang in right field. Troy Tulowitzki hitting cleanup at short. Melvin Mora plays third base tonight. Todd Helton, a left-hand hitter, stays in the lineup with Gonzalez against the Dodger left-hander. Ryan Spilborgh's in left field. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Ulysses Chassin will be on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw with a record of 10-7. He has beaten the Rockies 2-0 here and 4-3 there, and his numbers against Colorado in 4 home starts are unbelievable. His earned run average here is .7. The Colorado hitters are hitting 143 against him, averaging almost 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. All of this here, and he is not allowed to run to the docket here in Dodger Stadium in the last 19 innings. The first pitch to Eric Young is a little low, ball 1-0. EY hitting .244. Switch hitter batting right-handed. Takes off the plate, ball 2. With all the impressive numbers that Kershaw has put up, the Rockies are very, very successful against left-hand starters. They are 26-19. The 2-0 pitch is low and inside, ball 3. So Kershaw falls behind to the leadoff hitter, 3-0. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium for the skipper, Jim Tracy, at the helm of the Rockies. The 3-0 pitch on the way is in there for a strike. You may remember last year the Rockies made a belated move because in the first 45 games that Jim Tracy was at the helm, they went 31-14. The next pitch is high, ball 4, and a walk given up to the leadoff man, Eric Young. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively. Loney, Terrio, Carroll, and Blake, Posednik, Kemp, and Ethier, and the battery of Ellis handling Kershaw. Now for Clayton Kershaw, once again, he is unable to have a 1-2-3 inning. He's been unable to retire the side in order in the first inning. 25 starts. Now he faces Dexter Fowler, and he takes off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. Young over there at first base reminds you a lot of his dad, and he has stolen 5 out of 6. Because his father, one of the great base stealers, and especially for Colorado. So EY held on by Loney, and the 1-0 pitch coming up is instead a throw to first. The temperature 81 degrees. No humidity to speak of. Flags hanging limply out there in center field. And a crowd, good crowd, on Matt Kemp bobblehead night. 1-0 to Dexter Fowler, hitting .238. 3 home runs, 19 runs batted, and the next pitch is high. So Kershaw, unable to throw a strike on his first 6 pitches, did get 1 on the inside corner, barely at that. So he's behind 2-0 now to Dexter Fowler. Fowler is a real daddy long legs. He is 6'4", 175, and he can really run the bases. So Dexter back up and waiting, 2-0 the count. So they have a lot of speed atop the lineup with Young at first and Fowler hitting back of him. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball in there, and the count 2-1. Dexter Fowler stole 5 bases in one game. Ricky Henderson stole 5 in a game once in over 1,400 games. Lou Brock did it in 2,600. Tim Raines never had a 5 stolen base game. 2-1 pitch is taken low. Ball 3. 3-1 the count to Dexter Fowler. So Clayton Kershaw is struggling here in the first inning, walking Young on a 3-1 pitch, and comes right back 3-1 to Dexter Fowler. On deck, Carlos Gonzalez, Cargo as they call him. Here's the 3-1 pitch. There goes Young, and the pitch is a high strike. The throw down. We're taking a look to see no call at second, so now we find out he's safe. Jamie Carroll is talking to Laz Diaz. I think maybe, and Joe Torre's coming out, thinking maybe that should have been ball 4 on Fowler. There was absolutely no call at all, and that's always embarrassing. And I know Torre is mentioning call, and Diaz gave you no call at all. So EY steals second base. Meanwhile, the count of the plate is 3-2. It was a borderline pitch up. So EY picks up his 6th stolen base, and Torre gets it out of his system and goes back to the dugout. Of course, for EY's father, as he steals second base, and of course that gesture by Diaz with his left hand didn't tell you anything. Safe or out, nobody knew. So Laz, you usually say call him as he sees him, but no one knows what he called. All right, 3-2, and the pitch to Fowler, ground ball to the right side, fielded by Loney, gets to the bag in time, and on the ground ball, Young advances to third. So Loney takes it over, 1 away, and the batter now will be Carlos Gonzalez. We mentioned that Carlos Gonzalez had been pretty much of a one-man gang, and it's certainly true, and he picked up after the All-Star break. Another thing, he has 25 home runs, 11 of them are against left-hand pitchers. So Gonzalez checking in. He does a lot of things well. And since the All-Star break, he has been dynamic. He's hitting .347 in his last 50-some-odd games. Kershaw delivers. Fastball is swung on and missed. 0-1 to count. of his 25 home runs. Gonzalez has 17 after the break. So for Clayton Kershaw, he finally gets ahead of a hitter after falling behind to both Young and Fowler. Clayton looking over at third as Young coming down the line, and the strike one pitch on the way. Kershaw deals, and it's low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And as we always do with a runner at third, we'll check, and Clayton Kershaw has 4 wild pitches. So EY ready for an opening, coming down the line from third. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Kershaw ready and comes back. Another fastball swung out and missed, and the count 1-2. Gonzalez usually doesn't hang around at the plate very often, averaging a little over 3 pitches in at bat. 19 of his 25 home runs have been hit at home in Colorado. So here's the 1-2 pitch coming up with EY at third, 1 out, and it is swung on and missed, and down goes Gonzalez. So Kershaw strikes out a big hitter, and coming up now will be Troy Tulowitzki, the cleanup hitter, batting .326. Tulo with 12 home runs, 51 runs batted in, and of course battered and had to come out, so they missed his bat and his glove. He only played in 80 games. This is the 118th game, so he missed basically 37 games. Tulo, right-hand hitter. Kershaw ready and delivers, and it's lifted to right field. Very playable. Ethier is there, puts it away. No runs, no hits, a walk, a stolen base, and a man left. And at the end of half an inning, Rockies nothing, Dodgers coming up. He made 16 pitches, 11 got him in a lot of trouble, and 5 pitches got him out of it. It'll be Posednik, Terrio, and Ethier, Loney, Blake, and Kemp, Carroll, Ellis, and Kershaw going up against the right-hander Ulises Chacin. He's out of Maracaibo in Venezuela. Rocky signed him when he was 16 years old. And they just called him up from Colorado Springs. Right-hander ready to make his first pitch of the night, and it's off the plate. Ball 1 to Scott Posednik. For Chacin, with a record of 5-8, 1-1 against the Dodgers. Right-hander's 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. Chacin trying to fill a gap. After all, the Rockies lost Aaron Cook and Jeff Francis. So Chacin, who was doing very well in relief, has gone back to the mound. The 1-1 as a starter, he gets it in there for a strike, and the count 1-2 to Scott Posednik. Posednik had a 12-game hitting streak come to an end on the road. He was hitting .380 during that streak. He takes off the plate, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's hitting .301, a total of 5 home runs, 47 RBIs. So if you conclude the Dodgers and the American League, he's hitting .309. Takes a slow curveball over the plate for strike 3 called. So Posednik strikes out, 1 away. Good breaking ball, just did catch it, and that will do it for Scotty. So Chacin, who stands 6'3", 200-pounder, only 22 years old. Though signed at 16, he's done a lot of pitching in the last 6 years. And the pitch now fouled away by Ryan Theriot. Theriot hitting .286 with a home run, 24 runs batted in, and actually hitting better than that since he came to the Dodgers. In his 15 games with the Dodgers, Ryan hitting .305, takes inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. On deck, Andre Ethier. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Chacin looks in, getting a sign from Iannetta, and the 1-1 pitch on the way is a little high. 2-1 to count. The plate umpire is John Hirschbeck. James Hoy, Laz Diaz, and Wally Bell working the lines. Chacin looks over the fingertips of his glove. Now the 2-1 pitch, and that's high. Ball 3, 3-1. For Chacin, he has a 4-seam fastball that rises. He's been clocked as high as 95. A 2-seamer in the late 80s and early 90s, and a pitch very high. Ball 4 to Ryan Theriot. So the Dodgers get a base runner with 1 out, and Andre Ethier coming up.
Number 16, Andre Ethier.
Even though everyone thinks of Andre Ethier as the great closer, the great walk-off hitter, nevertheless, he has done his best work this year in the early innings of games. From the 7th inning on, his stats aren't nearly as impressive. In the first 6 innings, he has a batting average of .336. Throw to first, not in time. From the 7th inning on, Andre is hitting .227. He has 18 home runs. 15 of them come in the first 6 innings. The other 3, the last 3 innings. Most of his RBIs, 52 of the 68 in the first 6 innings. Ethier has a look at a breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1. So it's amazing how his late inning heroics put a stamp on him as a great walk-off hitter, but he's really done his best work in the first 6 innings. Chacin looks in, gets a sign. Ethier waiting. 0-1 the count. No score. First inning. Theriot at first. A look by Chacin, a bluff by Theriot, and the pitch in for a strike. 0-2 the count to Andre Ethier. Ethier, a fixture in right field. On the road trip, he hit .385. He had 5 RBIs, did very well. And with a .302 batting average, he's 10th in the league. 0-2 the count. Chacin watching Theriot carefully, and the right-hander comes back and works it off the plate, and the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, James Loney. One of the problems for the Rockies, 5 would-be starters missed 24 starts of the 117 games. And there are only 2 men, and really only 1, a big winner. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up to Andre. There goes Theriot, and it's fouled off. Jimenez has won 17. Jason Hamill has won 8. No other pitcher on the Rockies staff has won more than 4. The Rockies find themselves 5 games out in the wild card chase, trying to catch up to the Phillies, the Giants, and or St. Louis. One reason the Rockies struggle on the road, they are 23-36, and they've lost 21 games by 1 run. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Ethier tries to hold up, and he's successful, says Wally Bell, and the count 2-2. So Ethier backs out for the moment. Ryan Theriot saying something to Mariano Duncan, so the coach comes over to talk to him, either to double check the count or to see if there might be a play on. 2-2 the count. Throw to first, and Theriot dives back to the bag. Ulysse Chassin. That first name is J-H-O-U-L-Y-S. Ulysse. Now the 2-2 pitch coming up. Right end ready. Another look at Theriot. He's not going. Ethier swings. Ground ball to the right side. Tulo's going to turn it, and they'll get the double play. So Andre Ethier hits into the 4-6-3 double play. No runs, no hits, nobody left. And at the end of an inning, no score. Time in Los Angeles. No score as we go to the second inning, and the mountains really standing out tonight, crisply etched against that sunset sky. Great sight. Second inning, no score. Melvin Mora playing third base will start it off. 5'11", 200-pounder. Right-hand hitter, first ball swinging, pops it up to the right side. Theriot backs out and puts it away. So Moore didn't hang around. One out, and the batter is Todd Helton. Todd Helton has had a lot of problems, and certainly one of them has been his legs and his back, and it figures as the years go rolling by. And because of it, the Rockies are behind in two power positions. Helton's batting .252, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. But you're looking for a lot of power and RBIs from first base and third base, and Helton takes a strike. The Rockies 61% the league average in RBIs at first base, 2 RBIs above the average in right field. Strike 2 pitch fouled away. And according to the papers coming out of Colorado, a veteran right fielder, Brad Hopp, might very well be sent out on waivers. And it could very well be Hopp's career with Colorado is coming to an end. 0-2 the count to Todd Helton. Kershaw ready. And young Clayton comes back, and it's punched on the ground to short. Jamie Carroll up with it, takes care of it. 2 down, second inning, and Ryan Spilborgh's coming up. Spilborgh's local boy out of Santa Barbara, went to UC Santa Barbara. Right-hand hitter, batting .276 with 9 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Spilborgh's with the catcher Chris Ionetta on deck. And Kershaw deals fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Kershaw comes right back with a fastball away, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Spielborg's interesting genes. His father born in Belgium, and his mother was born in Guatemala. There's the 1-1 pitch on the way, and Ryan takes in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. And Ryan good-naturedly says, I might be the only Belgian Guatemalan human being besides my sister. Maybe. Ryan will be 31 September 5th. And the 2-1 pitch coming up, swung on, line drive over the head of Jamie Carroll into left field. So the first hit goes to Ryan Spielborgs with 2 out in the 2nd inning. Couple of scores to duck in. The Phillies knocked off the Giants 9-3. Roy Oswalt beat Barry Zito despite giant home runs from Jose Guillen and Pat Burrell. The Phillies blew open the game. They had a 5-run 8th to tear it open 9-3. The Padres are doing a high wire act. They're leading the Cubs 1-0 in the 9th inning. Kershaw's pitch very high. Ball 1, 1-0. In that Cub-Giant game, Padre game, John Garland battling Randy Wells. Padres scored in the 1st inning, and that's it. 1-0 Padres in Wrigley Field. 9th inning. Spielborg's at first with 2 out, and the 1-0 pitch to Iannetta, a check swing for a strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So Iannetta trying to extend the inning with Chacin on deck. Iannetta signed a 3-year deal in December of last year, so he figures to be around a while. And the catcher lifts it up into that powder blue. Matt Kemp coming in to take charge and puts it away. So no runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of an inning and a half, Rockies nothing, Dodgers nothing. And Rockies game 1 of the 3-game series. Tomorrow night, Jason Hamill and Hiroki Kuroda, and the concluding game, Jorge De La Rosa and Ted Lilly. And then the Cincinnati Reds come in, and of course that's an extremely important series. The Cardinals 1 game back of the division leading Reds. So here's James Loney, and he takes a pitch outside, ball 1, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. For Loney, he has now surpassed 1,000 innings at first base this year. Matt Kemp's also done that in center field. James takes high. Ball then drops in for a strike, and the count 1-1. Deloney, a veteran, certainly for sure at first base, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Chacin comes back, fastball pulled wide at first, sliding stop and feed by Helton. He made that look easy, and just like that, Loney is retired. One away, and the batter will be Casey Blake. Be sure to join the Dodgers Friday night. They face the Reds on 90s night. The first 20,000 fans will also take home a limited edition Graymatic poster featuring Andre Ethier. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. One away. Casey Blake, right-hand hitting third baseman, checks in. Chacin looks down the barrel to get a sign. Now Ulisse delivers, and the pitch down and away. Ball one. 1-0. For Casey Blake, hit 200 on the road trip. Did have 4 RBIs in one of the games in Philadelphia, and he takes off the play. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Big cloud down the right field line, peeking over the mountains, and the cloud has suddenly turned into cotton candy. The beautiful sight. 2-0 the count. Chacin ready in the right hand over the top, drops that curveball in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. He not only has the 2 fastballs, he has a curveball, a late moving slider, and a very good changeup. 2-1 pitch, fastball in there. 2-2. Because he can throw so hard, his changeup is exceptionally good. Tracy's always been interested in him because of his poise, even though he's only 22. The 2-2 pitch, ground ball foul outside of third. Still 2-2, hitting a protective railing in front of the Dodger dugout. For the Dodgers, a sigh of relief to be home. After all, they're 36-24 at Dodger Stadium. They sure took their lumps on the road, losing 5 out of 7. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and Blake swings, ground ball in the hole. Long, awkward throw by Tulo, in time to get him. What a play. The shortstop wound up on the warning track past third base near the box seats. What a remarkable play by Troy Tulowitzki. First he has to go in the hole, leap in the air, throw on one leg, and he throws to Helton. Marvelous big league play by shortstop Troy Tulowitzki. So the pride of Long Beach State comes up with a dazzler. What a multi-talented ball player he is. And with 2 down, here's Matt Kemp hitting .259 with 19 home runs, 67 runs batted in, and looks at ball 1. 1-0. Chacin, both feet on the rubber, looks down to get a sign from Iannetta. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's high. Dodgers have had a habit of beating up on the Rockies. Since 2009, the Dodgers are 18-6 against Colorado. They've won 9 of the last 12 here at Dodger Stadium. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Matt swings, doesn't get it, and the count 2-1. Dodgers trying to snap a little 2-game losing streak and have won 4 of 6 this year. 2 out of 3 here and there. 2-1 pitch coming up to Matt, and he backs off, and it drops in for a strike. Another good curveball. 2-2 the count. Yeah, the first time Jim Tracy saw him in spring training, he thought that he was a pitcher who was well beyond his years. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, fouled at the plate, and that got John Hirschbeck a little bit anyway. John Hirschbeck has been umpiring over 27 years, and he was hit on the hand by that foul ball. He's a Connecticut boy, got a Bachelor of Science degree at Central Connecticut State. He started umpiring Little League as a part-time job in high school. In fact, John and his brother Mark were the first pair of brothers to each become Major League umpires. John Hirschbeck, 2-2 the count. Yeah, that hand still hurts. Right hand is directly behind the catcher, but that left hand kind of stuck out a little bit. Kemp grounds one foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. That got down there in the dugout, and of all people, Russell Martin had to get out of the way of it. And Stan Conti says, here, why don't you take this crutch and it'll help you avoid the foul ball. And all Chad Billingsley can do is sit there and grin. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And Matt chased one and missed it from me to you. And that's that. Strikeout number 2 for Chacin. And at the end of 2, thanks to Tulowitzki, no score. Here's game 1 of the 3-game series. The Rockies are 2 teams reflected on what they do at home and road. They're number 1 in the league in runs scored at home as Chacin takes 1 ball and no strikes. Tracy's club, 329 runs they've scored at home. That's best in the league. The 1-0 pitch in for a strike. But on the road, Tracy's boys have scored only 223. That makes them 14th in the league. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and a 1-2 count. Couple of things that you don't really read about, and yet when you look close to the Rockies, they do certain things very, very well offensively. The 1-2 pitch fouled away. They're first in pinch hit runs batted in. They're second in sacrifice bunts. Here's the important thing as folks look at Troy Tulowitzki. They're second in going from first to third on a single. And they are second in going from first to home on a double. In other words, they've run the bases. They're second in scoring from second on a single. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Chacin, and that's fouled off. He's swinging that bat like he knows what to do with it. 2-2 the count. He's hitting just .087, but he certainly has an aggressive approach up there at the plate. The young Elise at 22 waiting, and the 2-2 pitch coming up. Fastball hit in the air to left center. Matt Kemp is moving over to his right and picks it off. But I should say Chacin looks like a hitter. 1 away. You know, the Coca-Cola Value Pack is available tomorrow, Thursday, and Sunday. Includes 4 tickets, 4 Dodger dogs, 4 Cokes, and 4 Dodger bobbleheads, starting at $17 a seat. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/specials or call 866-DODGERS. Boy, what a lovely evening. A great evening to spend it in the ballpark. with 1 out, 3rd inning, no score. And here's EY. Eric swings, little flare at second base. It's going to bounce on the grass, and by the time Carroll picks it up, Young is aboard with an infield single. Neither Carroll nor Theriot could get there in time. So again, Kershaw now will have a very good runner on base. So a little infield single for Eric Young. So EY stole his 6th base in the 1st inning, and he'll put a little pressure on. Kershaw working now on Dexter Fowler, who grounded out to Loney in the 1st inning. Clayton will look over at Young and a throw over there, and Fowler just waits at the plate. Fowler is a wonderful player to watch, especially in Denver. They have a huge outfield, and I mean, he flies to cover ground. The ladies would call him short-waisted. He's all legs. Meanwhile, Eric Young, short, stocky, built just like his dad, looks so much like him. EY off the bag, and the pitch to Fowler in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Dexter, born in Alpharetta, Georgia, still lives there. Signed by the Rockies out of high school. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Fowler hitting right-handed. He's a switch hitter, takes inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Gives you a nice strike zone. 6'4", 175 pounds. Been struggling with the bat. Been up and down from Tulsa. Hitting .237. Kershaw ready. Here he comes. Fastball in for a strike, and the count 1-2. When Fowler was just a youngster, his mom usually would drive him maybe 90 minutes to practice. He also played a lot of basketball at 6'4", as you can well imagine. 1-2 the count to Fowler, and a lob throw to first. EY back on the bag. No score. Top of the 3rd inning. Clayton Kershaw, a couple of 22-year-olds locked in here tonight, and Yolis Chassin. Young, cautious lead, not overly aggressive. 1-2 as Kershaw just looks at him. Now to the plate, and a ground ball into right field. Almost hit Young. He'll stop at second as Ethia guns it back into Carroll. So with 1 out, EY, a little pop fly single behind the mound. Fowler, ground ball single to right. And now 1st and 2nd, and 1 out with Carlos Gonzalez coming up. In looking at Kershaw's work, Gonzalez came into the game hitting .250 against him, 1 for 4. Brad Hobb, a left-hand hitter, is batting .308 with 2 home runs against Kershaw, and he didn't make the starting lineup. So here's Gonzalez, struck out in the 1st inning. 25 home runs, so Kershaw really has to be careful. And there go the runners. The throw by Ellis, not in time, and the Rockies pull off the double steal. So they had the rabbits, and they do it. The Rockies now have stolen 71 bases, and 3 already tonight. So Kershaw tried to get it to Ellis, but they had a good jump. Young going to 3rd, Fowler to 2nd, first base open now. 1 ball and no strikes. Kershaw out of his stretch. A look back at 2nd at Fowler, and the pitch to the plate swung on and fouled away off 3rd, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. So in the inning, Eric Young, a little pop fly single behind the mound. Dexter Fowler, a ground ball single to right, and then they pull off the double steal. So here's Gonzalez with a golden opportunity to pick somebody up and get his team on the board big time. Gonzalez is from Venezuela. left-hand hitter, and the 1-1 pitch foul back, 1-2. Carlos, 6'1", 200-pounder, and really coming of age as a hitter. He's only, well, he'll be 25 the middle of October. A lot of people compare him at a tender age to Carlos Beltran because he has 5 tools. And the fellow who first said that he has 5 tools was former Dodger Brett Butler, who managed him in the minor leagues at Mobile. The next one lunged at and missed. A bad ball, slider way down and off the plate, and Gonzalez strikes out a second time. That wasn't even close to the strike zone, so he was badly fooled. So the only 2 strikeouts that Kershaw has as of the moment would be Carlos Gonzalez. But now Tulowitzki with first base open. No score in the 3rd inning. Tulowitzki in the past, hitting only 200 against Kershaw, flied to right field in the 1st inning. So a big moment for Kershaw, and his fastball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Tulu backs out. He has 12 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Oh, and 1 the count. Rocky's shortstop already made a dazzling play when he took a base hit away from Casey Blake. Meanwhile, got Jason Giambi talking to young Gonzalez. The strike 1 pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count to Troy Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki has struck out only 52 times in about 350 plate appearances. He has Fowler and Young out there. 2 out, 0-2 the count to Tulowitzki. Kershaw set, thinks better of it, and backs off the rubber. So 2 singles, a double steal, a big strikeout of Gonzalez, and an 0-2 count on the right-hand hitting Troy Tulowitzki. Kershaw ready. Here he comes and drives his hitter off the plate. Ball 1. 1-2 the count. Gonzalez, by the way, who has struck out twice tonight, is hitting .310 against left-hand pitching. Tulowitzki is hitting .333 against left-hand pitching. So Kershaw has quite a challenge. 1-2 the count to Troy. Kershaw said, here he comes, high and tight to drive Tulo back, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. So Kershaw working hard here in the inning against Troy Tulowitzki, who was signed by the Rockies at a Long Beach State, and after 14 months in the minor leagues, he was in the big leagues to stay. Deuce is wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The fastball is low and off the plate. 3-2 the count. On deck is Melvin Mora. So we'll see about Tulo. Meanwhile, for Kershaw, he had made 28 pitches in the first 2 innings. This will be his 21st pitch here in the 3rd. 3-2 to Tulowitzki. Runners watching. Kershaw deals, swung on, high, pop fly into shallow left. Coming in for it is Posetnik and makes the catch. No runs, 2 hits, a double steal, and the Rockies aren't going anywhere. At the end of 2.5 innings, no score. 22 pitches, but got off the hook. Now in the bottom of the third, Jamie Carroll, A.J. Ellis, and Kershaw. And Carroll takes the first pitch a little high. Ball one. 1-0 to Jamie. On the road trip, he hit .348. He was one of the brightest of a long, miserable 7-game trip that saw the Dodgers lose 5 out of 7. 1-1 the count to Jamie. Overall, batting .287. He has done a tremendous job. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, line foul off the protective railing, and that shook up a couple of Rockies. Boy, they were really dodging and ducking. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Jamie Carroll, then A.J. Ellis facing Yolis Chacin. Chacin doesn't favor either side of the rubber. Comes with a fastball, grounded to third. Morris stays on it and throws him out. So Carroll taps to third, 1 away, and the batter will be A.J. Ellis.
Country catcher number 17, A.J. Ellis.
A.J. Ellis will be carrying a great deal of the catching burden shared with Brad Ausmus, but there's a big difference in age, so you figure A.J. will do a lot of work. Hitting 177, and the first pitch very high. Ball one. 1-0 the count. Dodgers are 11-20 since the All-Star break, and the Rockies are 12-17. Pitch high, ball 2, 2-0 the count. When the Rockies have won, and they've won 2 from the Dodgers this year, they have piled up a huge number of runs in the 2 victories, 19. The pitch Ellis a strike. The Dodgers have won 4, 3 one-run victories. And for Joe Torre and company, this is only the 7th meeting, so there's 11 more to be played with the Rockies as Ellis takes ball 3. 3-1 the count. Rockies are 5-13 on the road since the break. Ellis, a high fly ball to left, but that's all it is, a high fly ball. And Ryan Spilborghs is at the other end of it. So 2 down in the 3rd inning. And Clayton Kershaw coming up. 22, Clayton Kershaw. Chacin has pitched well against the Dodgers in the past. He was a starting pitcher, struggled. They put him in the bullpen. Then they sent him down to Colorado Springs. And he's been called back up and has been doing a pretty good job. The pitch to Kershaw a strike, and they count 0-1. In early May, Chacin went 7 1/3, did not allow a run, and the Rockies beat the Dodgers 8-0. Kershaw takes low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Then the end of May, Chacin went 5 1/3, allowed 4 earned runs, and lost 4-3. Now the 1-1 pitch coming up. Right-hander deals low and away, ball 2. The 2-1 pitch to Clayton Kershaw, way off the plate, ball 3. So 2 22-year-olds going head-to-head here. Chacin, a very aggressive batter, fly to center. Now pitching and missing to Kershaw, falling behind 3-1. Chacin delivers a high strike somewhere up around the letters, and the count 3-2. Waiting on deck, Scott Pusetnik. 3-2 to Clayton Kershaw. Chacin delivers, ground ball to short. Tulowitzki set for the throw, guns it to first, and the Dodgers go 1-2-3. So through 3 innings, only 1 Dodger base runner, Terrio, who walked. And at the end of 3, no score.
Dodgers tickets and a parking pass. To enter, mail a postcard to COL Line TV with the name of the prize you see on the screen, the inning, and the date. Go to KCalLine.com/prize vault for more information.
Fourth inning, no score in the ball game. The Rockies 3 hits and have left 4. They've also stolen 3 bases, so they've been on a treadmill. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw had a relatively easy first 2 innings and had to work hard to get out of the third. So he's made 46 pitches and he's ready to go. Melvin Mora, Todd Helton, and Ryan Spilborghs in that order. Mora takes that big breaking ball, but it missed. Ball 1, 1-0. Melvin, the 6th oldest in a family of 10 children. Right. He's from Venezuela. Mora liked boxing and soccer long before he began to play baseball. And a pop fly coming up for it is Ethier. 1 away. So a little fly ball to right, and the batter will be Todd Helton. Tomorrow it'll be the Rockies on prime ticket, and again Thursday with Colorado. Then the Reds come in Friday night on prime, Saturday KCal 9, and Sunday prime ticket. Big games coming up. 2 more with Colorado. 3 extremely important games for the Reds and Cincinnati. Helton grounded to short. 0 for 1, hitting .251. 1-1 to count. Helton, of course, has been the franchise player. Todd, 37 years old on the 20th. Two and 1. Helton in his career against the Dodgers hitting .289. He's had 38 home runs and 123 runs batted in. Todd Helton had a string of years more walks than strikeouts. Well, that's figuring to change. And down he goes. 3rd strikeout. The other 2, Carlos Gonzalez. And the batter, Ryan Spilborghs, in left field. He singled to left in the 2nd inning. Big slow breaking ball in there. 0-1 to Ryan. Rockies no runs, 3 hits. Dodgers no runs, no hits. Oh, 0-2. Manny Ramirez worked out before the game. Ran the bases. Ran in the outfield a bit. Question is to wait and see if the Dodgers make an announcement about his rehabbing. 0-2. Boy, he let that fastball fly. Got up to 93 on the gun. 1-2 the count. Kershaw strikes out 2 in a row. Helton and Spilborghs to give him 4. Down go the Rockies, and at the end of 3.5 innings, no score. With no score, tonight's text question: which National League division leading team is the biggest surprise for you? Would it be the Padres? How about the Reds or the Braves? Text your answer to 86212 on your cell phone. It'll be fun to find out. In talking about those three teams, we can tell you the Padres won another tough game. They beat the Cubs 1-0, holding the Cubs only 3 hits. That's a strike to Posednik. John Garland led 1-0 for 7. And then the bullpen took over, and that's been one of the great weapons for the Padres all year. Another breaking ball strike. Mike Adams came in the 8th inning and shut down the Cubs. Heath Bell notched his 36th save in the 9th inning. Cubs got a thrill, but that's all. In the 9th inning, with 2 out, Blake DeWitt, the former Dodger, now playing for the Cubs, came up, hit a long fly ball to right field, and Ryan Ludwig went to the ivy to make the catch, end the game, and give the Padres the 1-0 victory. 1-2 off the plate, and then backs in on the corner, and for the second time Posednik is caught looking. Late movement on the curveball, and we have 3 strikeouts for Chacin. And the battle will be Ryan Theriot. The Padres are now 24 games above 500. The Dodgers are 1 game above 500. Ball 1. Two and 0. Theriot drew a walk in the first inning. Ryan hitting .286. Home run, 24 RBIs. The pride of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Ball 3. Ulysses Chacin. Hope for the future for Colorado, especially with 2 pitchers down, Aaron Cook and Jeff Francis, and for the second time Theriot draws the walk. So Theriot has been the only Dodger base runner, and he's aboard twice now. And here's Andre Ethier, who grounded into a double play in the first inning. Ethier trying to keep something going here. Andre hitting .301 and had a very good road trip with the bat. He hit .385. Andre with 45 extra base hits. That would be tops on the squad. Chacin really keeping an eye on Theriot time. Ryan Theriot has stolen 18 out of 25. So the Dodgers perhaps trying to give the Rockies a taste of their own medicine. Chacin goes over there. The Rockies have been very successful in holding runners close and picking a few of them off, and that always comes handy. And he's over there again. The Rockies, by the way, are first in the National League in pickoffs. Very good in cutting down the stolen base percentage against them by other teams. And they're second in getting double plays, and they got one from Ethier first time around on the corner. 0-1 to count to Andre. Of course, the Rockies also have a lot of problems. They're fourth in wild pitches, second in pass balls. bullpen has not been that strong. 14th in saves. 0-1 the count. Off the plate. One ball and one strike. One out, bottom of the fourth, no score. Both teams well aware now that San Diego won. 1-1. One away. And another throw. The Rockies very much involved in stolen bases on their own. They've already had 3 stolen bases tonight. They have Dexter Fowler, who stole 5 in one game. But they're so conscious of their own base stealing abilities, it makes them concentrate on the other team. You seem really watching Terrio. And a drive to right field, but foul all the way, going upstairs, second deck. 1-2 the count to Andre Ethier. He has 18 home runs, 68 runs batted in. No score, bottom of the fourth inning. The Rockies have lost 21 games by 1 run. Dodgers have lost 18. 1-2. Ethier holds up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Closest to a run certainly came in the third inning, when Young and Fowler pulled off the double steal with 1 out, only to have Gonzalez strike out and Tulowitzki fly ball to left field. So with Young and Fowler, anytime they get on base, you're really looking for them to steal. Terrio off the bag. A look by Chacin. Scrambling save. Nice play by Chris Iannetta. So Chacin has to be careful, and he's trying to be. We told you that they're 4th in wild pitches. By the way, a 17-game winner, Ubaldo Jimenez, he has 9 wild pitches. 3-2. Terrio figures. There he goes. And a line drive base hit by the diving Young. Terrio is on his way to third as the throw comes back in quickly. So the Dodgers with 1 out have runners at first and third, and James Loney coming up. James Loney grounded out to Todd Helton in the second inning. And he's up there right now. First and third, 1 away, no score. James hitting .284, 8 home runs, and the big butter and egg man, 70 runs batted in. Loney followed by Casey Blake. Dodgers trying to do it to the Rockies again. First and third, 1 away. And ball 1. In looking at Chacin's work against the Dodgers, Loney was 1 for 4, grounded out, so he's 1 for 5 against Chacin. First and third, 1 away, no score, bottom of the fourth. Fastball down and away. So Chacin got into trouble with Ryan Terrio in the first inning with a walk, but Ethier hit into the double play. And then in the fourth inning, he walked Terrio and gave up the single to Ethier. And for Jim Tracy, thinking about the fact he left 4 men on base in the first 3 innings. 2-0 the count to Loney. Theriot and Ethier at the corners. And ball 3. Chassin struggling now, and it seems like Theriot is the one who really throws him off his game. He's walked in twice. Casey Blake waiting on deck. And they're letting go 3-0. 3-1 to count. So Posednik was called out on strikes for the second time, but then Theriot walked for the second time, and then Ethier got the base hit to right field. 3-1 to count to James Loney. Loney has grounded into 11 double plays. We'll see if that means anything for Ethier. A look, that's it. So Loney, who leads the club in RBIs, but also in double plays. 3-1 to James. 3-2. Well, if you're the manager, you have a fellow who hits into a lot of double plays. You have a full count and 1 out. The other question is you let Loney swing 3-0. So you figure you can rely on him as far as knowledgeable of the strike zone. And he has only struck out 71 times, and he's right around 475 plate appearances. We'll see what all that means. Ethier goes on ball 4. So for Jim Tracy, he sends out Bob Apodaca to try and settle down the young Chassin. And Casey Blake will be coming up with the bases loaded and 1 out. So let's take a look at Casey Blake while we have a moment. He has struck out 97 times, so he's vulnerable to doing that. He has only grounded into 4 double plays as opposed to Loney's 11. So you figure that Casey may be pretty much of a fly ball hitter. That could be reflected in the fact that he has 12 home runs and 47 runs batted in. Chassin is really fighting it. He's had 6 3-ball counts, including 3 in the inning. 1 to Theriot, who walked, 1 to Ethier, who singled, 1 to Loney, who walked. So let's see, bases loaded, 1 out, infield back in double play depth. Blake hitting .244. And ball 1. The old lament for any manager or pitching coach: there is no defense for a base on balls. No one can help you out. Hitting back of Blake is Matt Kemp. No score, bottom of the 4th, bases loaded, 1 away. In there. Boy, he really dropped the speed. He's been throwing in the low 90s. That fastball was 87. So Theriot is at third. Ethier is at second. Loney is at first. 1 out. No score in the 4th. 1-1. Fastball up at 90. 1-2. Blake against Chassin was 1 for 5, and he was robbed of a hit by Tulowitzki in the 2nd inning. Tula made a big play. 1-2 to Casey. And a breaking ball got him. Big slider down and away. He was not throwing that pitch very much. Got himself into a lot of trouble. And it was a good slider. And now Matt Kemp, who struck out on a slider in the 2nd inning, coming up. 4 strikeouts for Chassin. So the bobblehead man tonight, Matt Kemp, hitting .259, 19 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Bases loaded, 2 out, no score. Starts him breaking ball and he misses. Ball 1. Hard slider. Matt with 4 grand slams. Last grand slam was against Milwaukee last year. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-1. Chacin had made 47 pitches in the first 3 innings, and he's had to work pretty hard here in the 4th. Bobblehead night. You got it. 1-1. Fastball and a mile-high fly ball, but very playable. Both outfielders were calling, but Fowler is the captain. So Kemp, a high fly ball to center. Dodgers blow a chance, leave the bases loaded with 1 out, and at the end of 4, no score. We go to the 5th inning, no score in the ball game. It'll be Chris Iannetta, then Yolis Chacin and Eric Young. Ball 1 to Iannetta. Iannetta, a solid catcher. The question has always been, could he hit enough to stay in the big leagues? Last year he hit .228. Chris was a math major in college. He went to the University of North Carolina. 2-1. Iannetta reminds you a little bit of Chris Snyder. Remember Chris Snyder with Arizona went something like 200 games without an error. Iannetta is one of those strings. 1 away. Jorge Torrealba, who of course was the #1 catcher in Colorado, 1 year went an entire season without an error. That was back 2005. So 1 away, and here's Chacin, who looks like he means business up there at the plate, not just a pitcher coming up because he has to. Right. Chacin hit a pretty good fly ball to center field in the 3rd inning. 1-1. Chacin also made Kershaw work. He had a 7-pitch at bat in the 3rd inning. And hard ground ball to the right side. But he can handle the bat. So 2 down, and the batter Eric Young. A reminder, be sure to bring your kids to Dodger Stadium, and with a purchase of every adult ticket on the field or Lowe's level, kids 14 and under, just $5. For details, visit Dodgers.com/specials. 2 down, top of the 5th, no score. Kershaw has had 1 spot of trouble, 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the 3rd, and he struck out Gonzalez and got Tulowitzki on a fly ball, and Chacin wiggled off the hook with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th by striking out Casey Blake and getting Matt Kemp. One and 1 to count. Eric is a lot like his father, not only in stealing bases, but also whether he's going to play center field or second base. And I remember when Clint Hurdle managed the Rockies, his dad would be playing in center field, and then he would sneak in and take infield at second base, and Clint didn't like that at all. Well, now here's his son, basically an outfielder, who's now playing regular at second base and leading off. Eric Young, 2 and 1. Born in Piscataway, New Jersey, but he really grew up over in Arizona. His dad went to Rutgers University on the banks of the old Raritan. 3 and 1. EY walked, stole second in the 1st inning, infield single, stole 3rd in the 3rd inning. Pulled foul, 3 and 2. EY has a very tough act to follow, and his father will always be remembered in Colorado. He had played for the Dodgers in 1992, went to Colorado, the brand new franchise, led off opening day against Montreal and hit a home run on the 1st pitch. I mean, how is the son going to top that? Well, he can top him by at least getting on base for the 3rd straight time tonight. His father also played for the Dodgers when he came back in 1997, 98, and 99. So again, there'll be pressure on Kershaw as Dexter Fowler grounded out, single to right, hitting .240. And Kershaw has to watch Young and work on Fowler. Going over there. Boy, that was a pretty elaborate move by Kershaw. Of course, the more elaborate a left-hander is, the closer he gets to the balk rule, and the better his move to first base is. And he's going over there, but that was not the one previous. The previous pitch, he bent the leg. Here's the previous. See how high that knee goes, and then he goes over there. But this past pitch, he didn't bend the leg at all. So let's see. Keep an eye on that. Make believe you're the base runner and try to read him. Yep. Pretty easy to see that. The classic case. Show me your best move without picking me off. Here's the battle within the war. Little foul out of play. 0-1 the count to Dexter Fowler. Fowler, a fine all-around athlete. Might have wound up in an Ivy school, but opted to go to baseball. 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fowler a natural right-handed batter. It was the Rockies who made him a switch hitter. The one difference, besides the switch hitter's helmet, and he doesn't like that, but if he's hitting left-handed, that right ear will be covered. But the big difference when he switches would be his hands. When he bats right-handed, his hands touch. When he bats left-handed, at least it's always been the way, there was always a gap of several inches between the hands. 2-1, a little more bat control. Well, talking about control, Kershaw now, walk Young, and he's behind 3-1 to Dexter Fowler. Three and one. We'll see what Young does. He is not going. Comebacker, and Kershaw lost sight of the ball and can't make a play, and that thing almost took his head off. Boy, it is a dangerous spot out there. So it'll be an infield single for Fowler, and Kershaw is fortunate that he was not hurt. That thing came back and ate him up. He tried to catch it with his body sideways to the mound and just couldn't make a play. Take another one. There, sideways. If he doesn't get his glove up, it probably would have hit him on the left shoulder. Right there. So a tough comebacker, and all of a sudden you have two out, runners at first and second, and the Dodgers want to make sure he's okay, and he grinned about something that was said. Rick Honeycutt grinning, so obviously he's okay. And the batter will be Carlos Gonzalez. Now remember, Gonzalez struck out in the first inning. Gonzalez struck out in the third inning. And then we saw the veteran Jason Giambi counseling Gonzalez, trying perhaps to give him a tip as to how to hang in there against left-handers. Although, to be honest, Gonzalez is hanging in against everybody. Last 50 some odd games, hitting .347. So Carlos Gonzalez, that's his nickname in Denver. And with all of his other problems, Kershaw has to worry about the double steal again. In the dirt, check swing. 1 ball and no strikes. No swing, says Wally Bell. For Carlos Gonzalez, he has struck out 104 times, but he also leads the club with 25 home runs and 79 runs batted in. One and one. His ratio last year of strikeouts to walks was #1 in the National League. So in looking at Gonzalez, he has struck out 104 times and he has only walked 22 off the plate. So 2-1 to count. Even though he has struck out twice, he has done a lot of work against left-hand pitching, including 11 of his home runs. 2-2. He also has 48 hits against left-hand pitching. That's the most in the National League for left-hand hitters against left-hand pitching. He doesn't look like that kind of a hitter right now against Kershaw, who nailed him in the first and again in the third. 2-2. Off the plate. Good fastball. Boy, they talk about, the scouts always talk about how the ball comes out of his hand. That thing shot out of his hand. But he goes all the way with 2 on. That means the Rabbits will be going. EY from second, Fowler from first. 3-2. And a high pop fly going out is Carroll calling. Got it. At the end of 4.5, no score. No score, bottom of the 5th inning here. A dramatic moment at the Polo Grounds. 1951. Bobby Thompson hitting the game-winning home run for the Giants against the Brooklyn Dodgers and Ralph Branca. In case you did not hear the news, Bobby Thompson passed away today at the age of 86. 1 ball and no strikes to Jamie Carroll. One thing I have always felt about Bobby Thompson and Ralph Branca was every time that Bobby Thompson was applauded, and he certainly deserved it and took it very well. I mean, he was not the gloating hero. He just took it as a veteran ball player who happened to do something dramatic, and that was that. But all during those years, Ralph Branca was the one who had to carry the cross. And Ralph Branca, in my mind, grew in stature every time Thompson and Branca were reunited. And I don't think Bobby, as any human being, would get tired of taking a bow. But how about Branca, who always had to be there, and part of it, stand there, shoulders drooped a little bit, head down, as Bobby took the round of applause for the umpteenth time. And Ralph did it so very, very well. 3-2 to Carroll, and he walks. So Chacin has allowed 1 hit, a single to Ethier. He has walked 4. And now A.J. Ellis coming up. I was not involved in that game in any way, thank goodness. I think at that tender age I might have been overwhelmed. But I'll always remember going to the Dodger clubhouse in center field in the Polo Grounds in New York right after that home run. And the first thing I saw, you go up the steps from center field into the clubhouse, and then there were a second set of interior steps in the clubhouse itself, and there was big Ralph Branca face down, sprawled on the steps. You might have seen the picture. It's a classic. And as I kind of tiptoed around Ralph and went up the stairs, I headed towards the trainer's room Pee Wee Reese was sitting on the training table, and Jackie Robinson was standing there, and neither one was speaking. So when I walked in, I looked at both of them, and I just sat down in a chair in the corner. And then Pee Wee said something which sums up baseball for sure. Pee Wee finally said, "You know, Jack, the thing that has always puzzled me," and Robinson said, "What's that, Pee Wee?" He said, "Why this game hasn't driven me insane." I'll never forget that. 1-0 the count. A.J. Ellis, Carroll at first. Nobody out, 5th inning. No score. There goes the runner. Hit and run, foul ball. So the Dodgers trying to do a little running of their own and try and stay out of the double play. Ellis has been in 24 games and has grounded into 4 double plays. So they tried to avoid it, and they were running Carroll. On deck, Clayton Kershaw. No score, bottom of the 5th inning. One and one. Carroll goes again. Line drive by Tulowitzki. Fielded by Spilborg. Stopping at third is Carroll, and the Dodgers are in business. So twice they were running, and Tulowitzki started a break to cover. A little bit of a surprise with a right-hand batter that the shortstop is breaking. Normally you would expect the second baseman to break, and if Tulo isn't breaking, that's a double play ball. However, that was the way it was called, to have the second baseman hold his ground, figuring, I guess, that Ellis would probably ground the ball the other way. So the Rockies lost the gamble by having their shortstop cover. They lost the double play. Now, first and third, nobody out, and here's Kershaw. So Joe Torre will see if he has Kershaw just bunt Ellis to second base. Yep. Bunt is down. The out will be at first base. And the sacrifice worked. So you could certainly see that coming. For Kershaw, by the way, very, very solid with the bat. That would be his 13th sacrifice. Far more than anybody else on the club. Far more than anybody else on the Rockies. So with one out, second and third, Posednik and Terrio. Now Terrio has given Chacin a bad time by walking twice. The infield started to come up, and then Tracy said, "No, go back." So let's see what they do with the speedy Posednik. Ball one. Posednik was called out on strikes in the first inning and called out on strikes in the fourth. Scott hitting .293. He has 3 runs batted in, and runners at second and third, Carroll and Ellis. 1-0. Spilborg reaches at Gankler. The ball remains in play. 2 runs will score on a double by Posednik, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. So Scott Posednik, who had 3 RBIs all year, hits one over Spilborg's glove to drive in 2, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. For the Dodgers, a first base hit with runners in scoring position since Thursday. That's 26 empty at bats. And here is Terrio. 2-0 Dodgers. And ball one. Chacin just has so much trouble finding the strike zone against Theriot. He has walked 4, Theriot twice. He has struck out 4, Posednik twice. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball hit in the air to center. Fowler is there. Tagging up is Posednik, and with his speed, he'll move over to third base easily. So Posednik at third with 2 out, and Andre Ethier will be coming up.
Right fielder, number 16.
Dodgers 2, Rockies nothing. Andre Ethier grounded into a double play and single to right. When the Rockies come up in the 6th inning, they'll have Tulowitzki, Mora, and Helton. Chacin is violating the first commandment of pitching. He is really struggling getting a first pitch strike. Here's ball 1. He's had 5 first pitch strikes all night. That's 5 out of 20 hitters. Sooner or later, that's going to catch up to you, and it finally jumped up and bit him here in the 5th inning after getting out of the bases loaded situation in the 4th. 1-0 to Andre Ethier. It's that curveball. He drops it in nicely at 77. 1-1. Hey, he's 22 years old. He's just like Kershaw. One and one. Ball 2. James Loney on deck. It so often happens you will see a pitcher get into a bases loaded situation, fight his way out of it, make an awful lot of pitches. He made 27, and then the next inning he gets hurt, and Posednik hurt him with a double to drive in 2, and he's now at third with 2 out. 2-1. That wrinkles high, breaking ball, but didn't break enough. Three balls, 1 strike. Fastball, and he missed. So he's walked 5.
First baseman, number 7.
Dodgers have been able to cash in 1 of the 5 walks. And Bob Apodaca going back out to the mound to talk to him, as James Loney will be coming up. Loney grounded out to Helton, who made a good play in the 2nd inning. And then James came up in the 4th inning. They let him swing 3-0, and he fouled it away and eventually walked to load the bases. And then Chacin was able to strike out Blake and get Kemp. So now Posednik and Morrow hold a little conversation. And on the other side, Andre Ethier and Todd Helton exchanging pleasantries. Subject, you hear about San Diego? Yeah, they beat the Cubs 1-0. Loser loses a game. So here's Loney, 0 for 1. And a drive to the gap in right center. There is nobody there. They'll go to the wall. In comes Posednik. Here comes Ethier on a double by Loney, and the Dodgers lead 4-0.
Casey Blake.
4 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. But remember, they also had 5 walks. The batter now will be Casey Blake. Maloney doubles in Ethier and Plesetnik after Plesetnik had doubled in Carroll and Ellis. Maloney now with 72 runs batted in to lead the club. And here's Blake, 0 for 2, robbed of a hit by Tulowitzki in the second inning. Missed with a breaking ball, ball 1. So Chacin not only walking people but pitching behind in the count, and sooner or later he'll give you the bill. Manny Corpus begins to throw in the Rockies bullpen. 1-0. Remember, the Dodgers since last year have won 9 out of 12 from the Rockies here and 18 of 24 overall, and they have them down 4-0. So Kershaw, Plesetnik, and Ethier all taking a breather. Meanwhile, Jamie Carroll, who started it with a walk, loosening up, although they still have a couple of hitters before he gets a call again. Breaking ball, strike. Chacin huffing and puffing now. Back-to-back 2 tough innings. 27 pitches in the previous innings, and he has 97 pitches so far in the game. And he's only in the 5th inning. 2-1. Fastball punched to the hole, through. Here comes Loney to the plate to score. It's a 5-run 5th inning, and the Dodgers lead 5-0. For Jim Tracy and his pitching coach Bob Apodaca, they have to be faced with a couple of realities. Number one, this is a ball club that scores a lot of runs at home. They're first in the league, but they're 14th in the league in scoring runs on the road. That's one reason why they've lost 36 games on the road. So with the Dodgers leading 5-0, in Denver, it really wouldn't mean anything. Here, it's more of a commanding lead. Right. They don't have a fat lady in Denver. 0-1. So Blake, with a base hit and an RBI, keeps it alive. Matt Kemp, a slicing fly ball, but it's playable. That'll be that. So Matt's the 9th man to come to the plate. Dodgers hang a high 5, and at the end of 5, lead 5-0. Oxnard College, and he pitched with the Dodgers from 1991 through 1994. And you know how they talk about a well-pitched game as an artistic performance? Well, he was an artist, a great artist indeed. His name was Kevin Gross. And on this day in 1992, Kevin Gross pitched a no-hitter against the San Francisco Giants, 2-0. Artistic, to say the least. Let's go back to this one. Kershaw now with a big cushion to lean on. Nice pick by Jamie Carroll and a high throw rescued by Loney. So Tulowitzki didn't hang around. One away.
Third baseman, number 6, Melvin Mora.
Melvin Mora coming up. At the start of the ball game, in talking about Colorado overall, we were talking about the fact they've lost 21 games by 1 run. They're second in the league in swinging and missing at a strike, so it's hard for them to put a hit and run play on. 1-1 the count to Melvin. They get called out a lot on strikes. So it's hard for them, especially on the road, to make up a 5-0 deficit. So much so, they have scarcely scored more than 1 run in the final 3 innings of those 21 losses. 1 run in the final 3. So they're not going to come from behind very often on the road. And here they are down 5-0. But it is only the 6th inning. 2-2 to Melvin. Bouncer to the hole. Nice backhand. Long throw for Jamie. Short hop by Loney. Nice play.
First baseman, Todd Hilton.
So Melvin Mora nipped on a good play. Carroll to Loney. Ball 1. For Todd Helton, a painful year. They're really being careful now about his legs. High foul. Helton will be 37. He's been playing for the Rockies since 1997. And his contract runs through 2012. Remember the big deal when Todd signed that contract? It was back in 2001. He signed a 9-year contract extension for $141.5 million. Ah, yes. Time. Down goes Todd, striking out twice, and the Dodgers lead 5-0. your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. And by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
KCal Line's prize vault is giving away Rock Band 2. To enter, mail a postcard to KCal Line TV with the name of the prize you see on the screen, the inning, and the date. Go to kcalline.com/prize vault for more information.
Jamie Carroll starting off the sixth inning with the Dodgers leading 5-0. The Rockies have made two changes. First of all, Manny Corpus is on the mound, and Ian Stewart will take over at third base. So the double switch gives Stewart a chance to bat early, and we have one quick out as Carroll taps out. Watching Todd Helton strike out a second time tonight, you're looking at one of the great hitters the National League has ever had. He hit as high as 372, 358. He had a career batting average of 289 against the Dodgers. So far this year, it's just not Todd Helton. He is 1 for 22 against the Dodgers so far tonight and for the year. 1 for 22. It happens. A.J. Ellis had a big at-bat, and when you look back on it, that was a huge defensive gamble by Colorado. With Carroll at first and nobody out, they ran Carroll, and Tulowitzki, with a right-hand batter, broke to cover. Fly ball to straightaway to Fowler. 2 down. Normally, you would expect the second baseman to cover, but watch Tulowitzki. He starts to his left, tries to come back. If he holds his ground, if Young covers second base, that's a double play ball. Instead, first and third, Dodgers went on to score 5. One small play, one small decision, and it will probably cost the Rockies the game. So here's Kershaw. He made a valuable contribution when he sacrificed in the 5th inning. But it's amazing. If Tulowitzki doesn't, the Rockies probably have a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. We're probably still scoreless in the 6th. Bad ball, down he goes. And we have 6 innings in the books. Dodgers 5 runs, 5 hits. Rockies no runs, 4 hits. Dodger Baseball on KCal 9 is brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus today. Visit Lexus.com. And by the new King Kong 360, 3D attraction at Universal Studios Hollywood. Here's a look at how our text message voting is going so far. Remember, we asked which National League Division leading team is the biggest surprise, the Padres, Reds, or Braves. So far, 63% of you say the Padres, 28% the Reds, 9% the Braves. Text your answer to 86212 on your cell, and we'll see how it comes out. Seventh inning. Spilborghs, Iannetta, and Stewart in that order. Stewart taking over at third base, bats ninth in the double switch. Spilborg single to left and struck out. The fellow who has really slowed down the Rockies offensively tonight is Carlos Gonzalez, and he's normally a guy who really delivers, but not tonight. Gonzalez struck out with Eric Young at third in the first inning. He struck out with runners at second and third in the third inning, and he popped up with runners at first and second in the fifth. 2-2. Ball 3. Kershaw came in having made 86 pitches. Chacin made 100. Popped in the air down the right field line. Ethier coming over and away. Now the catcher, Chris Iannetta, twice flying to center. The Rockies left 4 men in the first 3 innings, and they left 6 men in the first 5 innings, finally going out in order in the 6th inning. Iannetta 0 for 2. Tomorrow night, Jason Hamill 8 and 7 against Hiroki Kuroda 8 and 11. Line foul. On Thursday, Jorge De La Rosa with a record of 4 and 3 against Ted Lilly 6 and 8. As we mentioned, Hamill has won 8. Jimenez has won 17, and no other Rockies pitcher has won more than 4. For the Dodgers, Kershaw trying to win his 11th. Billingsley's won 9. Kuroda has won 8, and Padilla and Lilly have won 6. 3-1 the count. No swings as James Hoy. Chris from Providence, Rhode Island. And ball 4. So that breaks a little string of 5 in a row. You traveling this season, you can take the Dodgers with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every Dodger game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Dodgers.com to order and get more details. Local in-market blackouts apply. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Here's Ian Stewart. Stewart so far this year has 57 runs batted in, 17 home runs. And just imagine, he has had 20 bases loaded opportunities this year. He has 1 grand slam. Ian is from Long Beach, lives in Garden Grove, went to La Quinta High School. He committed to the University of Southern California and was signed to go pro by Rocky scout Todd Blyleven, the son of the great Burt Blyleven. Oh, 0-2. So for Stewart, he goes down. 6 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. And with 2 out, the batter will be Eric Young. Remember, the Rockies are averaging 1 run in their 21 losses. 1 run on an average in the last 3 innings of all those games. Eric Young has walked twice, stolen 2 bases, and been left on base all 3 times. Ball 1. The pitch count for Kershaw, he's over 100 now. And George Sherrill and big Jonathan Broxton begin to tune up. Hung-Chi Kuo will not be available tonight, having gone 2 innings in Atlanta. Right. 1-1. 5-0 Dodgers. Scored all 5 in the 5th inning. One and one. Line drive, base hit to center. Stopping at second is Iannetta. And the batter now will be Dexter Fowler. So Young, and they're saying they're really going to give him a look leading off playing second base. And wow, what a look tonight. 2 walks, 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. Dexter Fowler has grounded out, single to right, and almost took Kershaw's head off in the 5th inning. Clayton turned, ball almost hit him on the shoulder. Then he lost his balance on the mound and couldn't make a play. Fowler with 19 runs batted in. Ball 1. Little ground ball at the bag. That'll do it. Nice room service play for Casey Blake. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. The end of 6 1/2, 5-0 Dodgers. The crowd now will be asked to join in the singing of God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Once again, please welcome back Gary Hoey.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. My home, sweet home.
Gary Hoey.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Caesar's Palace, where every day is routinely spectacular. And by Time Warner Cable. Get TV, internet, and home phone delivered over an advanced fiber optic network from Time Warner Cable. Clayton Kershaw has made 116 pitches, and he has fought himself off the ropes 7 different times. Meanwhile, Besetnik, a fly ball to right, 1 away. The Rockies, by the way, are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Kenley Jansen is throwing in the bullpen, so you would have to believe that Kershaw, after 116, will call it a night, or better phrase, Joe Torre will call it a night for him. In looking at Kershaw's work throughout the year, his high at first glance, 117. He did that against the Giants, and he did it against Pittsburgh. And tonight, 116 against Colorado. One and one to Ryan Theriot. Walked twice, flied to center. 2-1. Ground ball. Stewart cuts in front of the shortstop and makes the play. Though we have 2 down.
Dodgers right fielder number 16, Andre Ethier.
Andre Ethier coming up. Ethier drew a walk in the 5th inning. All part of that 5-run uprising that chased Chacin and has brought Manny Corpus to the mound. Andre hitting .303. Manny Corpus is from Panama City in Panama. Grew up idolizing Mariano Rivera. 6'3", only about 170, 28 years old. Been with the Rockies since 2006. First signed with them when he was 16 years old. 0-2. A couple of years ago, Manny Corpus in 2007, though he was 24, he became the youngest pitcher to earn 3 saves in a postseason series, wrapping each of the Rockies' wins in a sweep of the Phillies in the division series that year. Soft line drive picked by Stewart. No need to throw to first. And the Dodgers go 1-2-3. So at the end of 7, Dodgers 5, Rockies nothing, and good night, Mr. Kershaw.
postcard to KCAL 9 TV with the name of the prize you see on the screen, the inning, and the date. Go to kcal9.com/prize vault for more information.
5-0 in favor of the Dodgers as we move to the 8th inning. It'll be Carlos Gonzalez, Roy Tulowitzki, and then the pitcher's spot. So we'll see about whether they bat for Corpus. Meanwhile, Kenley Jansen, the kid from Curacao, coming over to take over for Clayton Kershaw. In looking at Jansen's work, this will be his 10th game. A remarkable earned run average for a fellow who was a catcher 1 year ago, July. ERA of 1.1. One reason, strikeout to walk ratio 4-1. 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. Carlos Gonzalez, who has really stopped the Rockies dead in the water tonight. Ball 1. He is 0 for 3. Struck out twice and popped up. Left a ton in scoring position. And wouldn't you know, with the bases empty, hitting left-handed against a right-hander, he singles to right.
Shortstop, number 2, Troy Tulowitzki.
So that'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki flied to right, flied to left, grounded to short. Seth Smith is out on deck now to bat for Corpus. And Randy Flores, the left-hander, begins to warm up in the Colorado bullpen. Tulo 0 for 3, hitting .323, 12 home runs, 51 runs batted in. But that step towards second base in the 5th inning, the key to the entire game. If he doesn't make the step, the ground ball by Ellis is a double play, and it's probably a 1-2-3 inning. He took the step, tried to come back, couldn't do it, and the Dodgers scored 5. 2-0. Of course, for the Dodgers, let's face it and be honest, no lead is comfortable. Not after losing that 9-2 lead in Philadelphia. I know the worst game Tommy Lasorda ever managed was back in 1990 when the Dodgers led Philadelphia 11-1 and lost 12-11. Not that Joe Torre thinks back to 1990, but he can certainly think back to this year's trip to Philly. Leading 5-0. They're on the phone to the pen again. Jansen 3-0 to Tulowitzki, and then Seth Smith coming up. Seth Smith on deck, left-hand batter, and perhaps to answer that challenge, George Sherrill is up, and then after Smith you'd have the left-hander Todd Helton. So Jansen comes in, gives up a single to Gonzalez, walks Tulowitzki, and here comes Smith.
Attention, please, for the Rockies.
Joe said before the game Hung-Chi Kuo would not be used, and that Sherrill and Broxton would be ready for the call. Seth Smith, out of Mississippi, went to the university. The first RBI in his major league career came in a postseason game. It was a 2-out, 2-run pinch hit double in Game 4 of the LCS against Arizona in 2007. A tremendous way to break in. Seth was one of Eli Manning's backup quarterbacks for 3 years at Ole Miss. never had a single snap. Didn't see any game action. Rockies picked him in the second round in 2004. Came up to the Rockies in 2007. Then came back up to stay in 08, 09, and now. Hitting .266 with 14 home runs and 45 RBIs. Now, Joe rarely goes to the mound to just talk. And with back-to-back left-hand hitters, let's see if he takes the ball away from Kenley Jansen. 2 on, nobody out, so Rockies could get back in the game in a hurry. Yep, he's going to take the ball. So Jansen will leave. Sherrill will be coming in, and we'll be back. Well, here are the final numbers for our text message question. We asked which National League division leading team is the biggest surprise. The Padres, the Reds, or Braves. And it's no surprise. 65% of you picked the Padres, who continue to surprise. The Padres with John Garland and then the bullpen, Mike Adams and Heath Bell, beat the Cubs 1-0. San Diego now has a record of 71-47. 24 games above 500. Give you what a shock that is. If the Dodgers lost tonight, they'd be 500. So Sherrill picks up an 0-1 count. Working to Seth Smith. Smith 0 for 1 against him in the past, struck out, so nothing to learn from there. One ball and one strike. Fastball. 1-2. One and two. Fouled away. Seth Smith reminds some people a little bit of the swing of Chase Utley. As he gets a little older and stronger, he's 6'3", 225. He'll be 28. Last year he began using a bigger bat. He has Gonzalez and Tulowitzki out there. 2-2 the count to Seth. A little bit of a leg kick that helps his timing. Kind of helps him to stay back. he goes. So Sherrill comes in, strikes out the left-hand hitting Smith. And now going after another left-hand hitter, Todd Helton. Sherrill against Helton. Helton is 0 for 4 against him. Ball one. Remember Todd, who had a career batting average of .289 against the Dodgers, this year is 1 for 22 and 0 for 3 tonight. Aren't you glad that you were not very good at anything? When you think about it, the big problem for Helton now, it's such an effort to do what he used to do without even thinking about it. Ball two. Once upon a time, he had 370, 358. One of the more feared hitters in the National League. 2-1. 2-2. 90-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. Todd grounded to short in the second inning, struck out in the fourth, struck out in the sixth. 1 out, 2 on, 5-0 Dodgers, 8th inning. Curveball, slow curveball in the middle 70s. So a couple of veterans going head to head after a couple of kids started the game. 22-year-old Kershaw, 22-year-old Chacin. Gonzalez and Tulo out on the line. One thing about Helton has not changed over the years. It always took a lot of pitches to decide just what was going to happen with him. Runners do not go. Fastball lifted to left field is playable. So Helton a fly ball to left field, 2 down. Todd goes 0 for 4. Now he's 1 for 23 against the Dodgers. And the batter will be Ryan Spilborg. Spilborg single left, struck out, fouled out to right. Rockies have left 8. And we're in the 8th inning. They have missed getting somebody on base only twice, in the 4th and in the 6th. Ball one. With Helton's fly ball, the Rockies are now 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and it should be 0 for 10. No run, 1 hit, 2 more left, and at the end of 7.5, 5-0 Dodgers. of it. That was the ground ball hit and run play by A.J. Ellis when Tulowitzki broke to cover, and instead of a double play ball, the Dodgers had runners at first and third. Then Posednik doubled over the head of Ryan Spilborg. That scored two. After a walk here, James Loney doubled, and that scored another couple. And finally, Casey Blake, a wrong field single to right field. That cashed in Loney, and the Dodgers hung a high five on the scoreboard. Add that to the frustration of the Rockies, who are 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and you find yourself in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Dodgers leading 5-0. Randy Flores, local boy, coming in out of the pen. Randy was born in Bellflower, lives in Pico Rivera, and was originally signed by the Yankees out of USC. He was originally picked by the Cardinals, but returned to SC for his senior year and became the winningest pitcher in the school's history. His younger brother Ron followed him to El Rancho High, then to SC. And here is Randy. 35 years old and even 6'1", 190. Facing Loney. And a strike. James hitting .286. He has 8 home runs, 72 runs batted in. It almost looked like he was complimenting John Hirschbeck on the call of a strike. 0-2. Randy Flores finally made it to the big leagues. After signing in '97, it took him about 6 years to come up with the Rangers. And then that same year in '02, he came to the Rockies. Then he left and went to the Cardinals. Came back to the Rockies in '09, and here he is in the dirt. 1-2 the count. What about Ron and Randy? Well, in 2007, the middle of June, Ron was with the A's, Randy was with the Cardinals in a 3-game matchup, interleague play. Their parents live in Las Vegas, and they came to the Bay Area to watch the series. They also had some aunts and uncles there. Doing 2. Curveball, little dribble. That'll be a tough play. And a nice play indeed by Eric Young. So EY's having a big night. He's been on base all 4 times. 2 singles, 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, and a nice play on a tough little ground ball. So the batter now will be Casey Blake. Blake, robbed of a hit by Tulowitzki, struck out, then singled to right in the 5th inning to drive in Loney with the 5th Dodger run. Goes to right again, and a base hit. So Casey goes 2 for 4. Dodgers have a half a dozen hits now. So Matt Kemp struck out, flied out to center, flied out to right. Matt 0 for 3, hitting .258. 19 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Ball 1. Two and 0. Flores basically and Tulo once they get in for a minute. Fastball, slider, and a changeup. Flores recently, maybe a year or so, came up with a cutter, and you'd figure that would be a pitch he'd use against right-hand batters. Ball 3. Well, with the fact that Matt Kemp has 19 home runs, there is certainly nothing automatic about him taking 3-0. Way outside and high. So the Dodgers received 6 walks along with 6 hits. That'll bring up Jamie Carroll, who has grounded out twice and walked. Two on, 1 out, 5-0 Dodgers when the Rockies come up in the 9th inning. They are due to have Iannetta, Stewart, and Young. On deck, George Sherrill. After A.J. Ellis, and Sherrill might very well give way down in the pen, so we'll have to wait and see. 1 ball and no strikes. Chacin, Corpus, and Flores. In there. 1-1. Jamie Carroll hitting .285. Scored a run. Has a base hit to left. Here comes Spilborg's throw, so stopping is Blake, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for A.J. Ellis, and for Jamie Carroll, 1 for 3. So Flores giving up 2 singles and a walk to load the bases. Ellis flied to left, and Bob Apodaca out there again. But again, to repeat, especially for those just joining, the biggest play of the night involved A.J. Ellis. That was in the 5th inning. No score. The runner at first was Jamie Carroll, and he broke. And normally with a right-hand hitter up, you would expect the second baseman to cover, but Tulowitzki started to cover, and what might have been a double play ball turned out to be a base hit. And instead of 2 out and the pitcher coming up, it was a single, and the next thing you know, Kershaw sacrificed, and it turned out to be a 5-run inning, all because of Tulo and a step towards second base. Ball 1. Infield back in double play depth, 1 out. Dodgers trying to add to a 5-0 lead. Ronnie Belliard is on deck. He would bat for Sherrill. Fouled away, 1-1. The paid attendance tonight on Matt Kemp bobblehead night, 49,540. 49,540. There's a line drive for 1. The feed not in time. So 2 down, and Ronnie Belliard will be coming up. So Ellis hits it sharply, but right at Young, whose speed was late. And now here's Belliard batting for Sherrill. Belliard hitting .221. He has 2 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Coming off the bench, he has 6 hits and 3 runs batted in. Ball 1. I'm just thinking, there's Randy Flores, an SC boy, and look at that sign. One and 0. Little nubber. Flores turns. 6-0. Hilton made a great effort first to go up the ladder, then dive back at the bag, but could not rescue Flores' bad play. And it will be an error charged to Flores. Ball just took off. Todd tries to get back, but the glove followed the foot. The Belliard is aboard on the error, and everybody moves up 90 feet. Casey Blake brought the run in. Ball 1 to Scott Posednik. So the Dodgers, who have won 9 of the last 12 from Colorado at Dodger Stadium, 18 of the last 24 against Colorado, have them pinned to the mat 6-0 in the bottom of the 8th. And here's Posednik with the bases loaded, 2 out, and the Dodgers leading handily 6-0. Posednik struck out twice, but then doubled the left field in the 5th inning over a leaping Spilborg. That drove in 2, and the Dodgers added 3 more that inning. In there, 1-1. Tomorrow night, Jason Hamill 8-7, Hiroki Kuroda 8-11. Fastball. Flores hits 88 on the gun with the fastball. One and 2. Check swing. They look, swing, and everybody walks away. So Posednik called out on strikes, but the Dodgers add 1, and at the end of 8, Dodgers 6, Rockies nothing. Nothing in favor of the Dodgers. Chacin followed by Corpus and then Flores. And the Dodgers now bring in Jonathan Broxton to try and close it up. Kershaw went 7. Jansen faced 2 batters, got into some trouble, and they hooked him. Sherrill came in and pitched the inning. And now Broxton. Chris Iannetta will start it off. The catcher is 0 for 2 with a walk. Then Ian Stewart and Eric Young. For Jonathan Broxton, with 21 saves and a record of 4-4. Iannetta struggling, hitting .202. Fastball strike. 0-1. John comes in, but the velocity on that fastball is not the usual calling card. Normally we've seen him come in and throw 95 on the first pitch. That was 89. Squirted. Broxton's not going to pick it up. Loney will feed it to him. One away. Now Ian Stewart came in a double switch and struck out in the 7th inning. The Rockies have had ample opportunities to get into the game, or for that matter even take the lead early. They are 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Stewart hitting .268, 17 home runs, 57 runs batted in. And ball one. Stewart 2 for 10 in the past against Broxton, striking out 5 of the 10 appearances. Eric Young on deck. 1-1. That was 90. But remember, we've seen Broxton comes in, maybe it's early in the year when you're really strong. He'd come in, be 95, 97. Right now, 89 and 90. 1-1. One and two. That's a hard slider in the high 80s. Dodgers trying to make it 5 out of 7 from the Rockies, 10 of the last 13 here, and 19 of the last 25. And tomorrow night, Jason Hamill and Hiroki Kuroda. Fastball. But even that, according to the gun, was 89. 2 down, 9th inning. Big John just letting it fly. Clayton Kershaw had struck out 6. So 8 Rockies have struck out. Eric Young has walked twice, singled twice, stolen 2 bases, been on base all the time, and never scored a run. Right. Now that one was just about in the middle 90s. San Diego won. So the Dodgers are going to remain 11 back, but they will be 1 back of Colorado. The Rockies losing tonight will fall 10 back. One and one. On deck, Dexter Fowler. Check swing, comebacker. So the Dodgers win it handily. 6 runs, 7 hits. The Rockies no runs, 6 hits. Broxton did the job in the 9th inning on 9 pitches. The Dodgers will snap their 2-game losing streak, and tomorrow night Hamill and